everyone, welcome back. It's Sunday morning and time for a little quick video, really quick video I'm hoping to do today. As you know, we've pretty much finished our book lovers journal. I needed a couple of tags to add on to it, into it I should say, and I thought I'd just show you what I do with my packaging and my scraps so that you can do this with any journal that you need to make tags for, or you have a lot of scraps for. Whether you're just mass making, this would be a great idea as well. Now, I do understand that people have different types of packaging. We are fortunate here in that we have a lot of recycled packaging, so it results in a very creamy underside. So for example, you've got this lovely cream underside on the packaging itself. Now I can appreciate that not everybody has that, so I wanted to show you some other ways that you can use packaging that looks a little bit like grayish. Alright, so I'm going to show you what I do. Now I do save all the packaging that that comes through my door. And sometimes even my children's doors. So my son lives in his own house, but they also collect packaging for me as well. So Christmas time, when everybody's opening up gifts or birthdays, I keep all those packaging pieces. Now I have just gone through my box and I've got this lovely piece here. This is from my son's caterpillar cake. He is, I mean, he's in his 20s, but he still loves his caterpillar cake, and he's gluten intolerant, or wheat. He doesn't handle wheat very well, and so we have to go and get the one that's wheat free, but we still get a caterpillar cake. Now this is a great one, and what you need to do, sometimes it's got a little bit of chocolate on it. It comes in a tray, so the cake hasn't really touched on here, but yeah, this is a great opportunity to use this. All right, so let me gather a couple of things and I'll be right back here. Okay, so what do you need today? Well, as I said, you want to use some packaging pieces. I've got this piece of packaging from a cake. This is from an exam pad or notepad that they use at college, so that's a good one. You want some scrappy bits of paper, so I've got a load of those. If you've got book pages like this sort of a thing, grab that. And to decorate, I've just pulled out what I had, little bits of ribbon that you might have, some sentiments if you have them, the little elements that I cut out of my background page, and this is what remains of my die cuts. So that's what I'm going to use to make a couple of tags with you quickly this morning. I've just got things like glue stick, distress ink. I might do a couple of stamps. So I've got these two, bundled sage and seedless preserves for this particular design. I have just grabbed one of my tags from the kit. You don't need to do this. I'm going to use this as a template just for the sizes. And if you've got a couple of stamps, then go grab them. I've just pulled out what I showed you at the start. I'm not sure if I'm going to use any of these or not, but we'll see. So I might. Okay, so that's what we want to do. Now the first thing that I do is I take this packaging and I take my ruler and my cutting knife, but your scissors and pencil will work. And then I just trim off the bits that I don't want. So any raggedy bits, for example, I'm going to just cut those off. Okay, so you can see I've cut those into, cut off all the bits that I don't want. This is a nice sturdy cardboard, so that is great. Now this is, of course, if you've got this, even if your cardboard is grey, still hang on to it. I'm going to show you what to do with that. I just take a wipe and wipe off any bits of chocolate that might have landed on here. And it's got a bit of, it has, I mean, this is, you can write on this, so, you know, it's not coated, but there's nothing on here now. So I'm quite happy with that. And then, of course, the bit that comes with a little window, so we have this little window bit here. This bit I peel off. It's coming loose here already. I peel this all off, and I use this to make windows for anything I want a window in. So that's the good thing about that. Okay, so even if you're using a grey background, for example, you've got, they're using card that's got a grey background, my suggestion to you is to go and do one of the following. Either print off a background page that you can write on, so something like this, and you've seen me use this a lot. I do back a lot of my ephemera with this. I just stick this to the back of it and cut it out, and it's double-sided paper, and for a lot of things that's sufficient. The other one is, this is from my mini kit. That's from my lilac kit actually. This is from my book lovers mini kit. Great background page as well. So something like this that's pretty pale that you can write on, and it's going to be legible because it's not too dark. That's what I mean. All right, so go and stick that on. Now a good example is, for example, the book pages that we did. So I showed you what to do, inspired by Rach, where she took her book pages and she stuck a load of scraps and just collaged them. Now this is a great thing to do in front of the telly, and I've got a whole video on how I did that. All right, so that's great. You then stick them down and you've got something like this. Now this is a great base to make tags with as well, and again obviously you've got that on the back, but there's absolutely nothing stopping you from taking one of your background pages, here's a misprint, sticking that on the back and cutting tags out of this, and that makes a great base, and we'll do that in a second. Okay, so that's that with the book pages or the grey packaging. Stick something else on the back, but because the packaging is already card, you're able to make use of that card rather than go and use cardstock. You just can print on a piece of copier paper for your background, and there you go. So a much cheaper way, I would think. Now I keep all these bits because, for example, we're going to make a tag and I'm going to cut one out now. So I'm going to just take this piece right here. Let's start with that, and I'll just put the card to the side. So I'm going to just take this here, and I'm going to decide, I'm going to take this piece just over here. So I think what I'll do is I will cut it out first. Now sometimes I just cover the whole bit, but on this occasion I'm going to just do the one. So there we go. I'm going to make it, this one I'm going to make about 2 inches wide. Now they'll all be different. It all depends on what you are using it for, and if you've got a specific place to put it, or you can do anything you like there. Now this side I'll trim up once I've stuck this on. So there I go, and I'm going to just put some glue on this, on the back of this. So a great way to use up your scraps, your book pages, and any other bits and pieces that you want to work away. Now I'm going to just stick that down over there like that. Now really I wasn't very frugal here because I could have made a bigger tag with this piece, but for the purposes of not wasting your time too much, I am now just doing what I have in front of me. Right, but I'm going to now just trim off the edge there, and I usually trim this once this is stuck down, because then they both are very clean and neatly together. So that's the other thing. So there you've got a base to put some goodies on for your tag. These pieces I will use when I do some other bits in a minute. I'll show you how I'll work with that. So we've got one there. I'm not going to do another one of those. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of this. So we've got this. This is better for the size. You can make journal cards, master boards, whatever you want, and then cut them up, which is along these lines. See, we've got that there now. And this is nice and firm. Or you can take this. This has got a lovely base already. And what I want to do here is just choose something. So I'm going to go along the lines of this here. I'm just finding something that's not too bold, and that could be absolutely anything. All right, so you could choose, something like this. So something like that would also work. So let's try that. We'll try one of those and one of those. So again, decide what size you want your tag. So I'm going to go with, how wide is this one? yeah, 2.5 inch in width. So let's just straighten that up a bit. So 2.5 inches, and I'm going to cut 2 of those. So 1, and then another one. Let the blade go out a bit far. Right, so I don't want to do too many, but if you were going to mass make these, you could get all your bases cut out and then go and do one of different, many different things here. So you could either stick your scraps on like that, or you could take bits that are bigger like this and use those. So let's start with this one here, and I'm going to stick that down over here. So we want our glue. Okay. Now the reason I'm using my glue stick is, I like to stitch around the edge of my tags. Now that's not a must, but if you would prefer, I would personally, if I wasn't going to stitch this, I would use a better glue, a stronger glue. So something like Fabri-Tac or your 3-in-1 Beacon, or your art glitter glue. So that is what I would do there. All right, so we've got that and that. All right, so we've got another one to build something pretty on. So there's 2, and then the last one I'm going to do is this piece here, which I don't think is going to fit on here. Oh, it might. We'll just trim off that bit. So I'm going to start off by straightening that line first of all. Okay, and we'll stick this onto this. Now that's also a nice base, so there are lots of I might actually go with that one. I quite like a neutral base, so I'm going to do that. Right, and then it's just a case of trimming that off, easy with a knife. Just be careful of your fingers. I've done this a long time. If you're not confident, rather just use your scissors. Sorry, I don't want glue on my mat. Right, so we've got that there. Now you can see there's a bit of green showing, which is absolutely fine. I'm going to just trim a little bit over here. Right, so we've got that done. We've got 3 bases here. I'm just doing 3 because we're just showing you the principles of how to do this really. So they're different sizes, which is fine. And we're going to do some different things. And this one's got to go that way. Now I like to trim off the corners here. And the way I do that is I just cut one off. Don't want it flying all over the place. Then I just take just one of the corners, not both, they're coming apart. Just put that piece over there. Grab your pencil, unless you're feeling you can hold it, turn it and cut it, which I'm not. So there we go. And now that should mirror what you've done on the other side. Okay, I'm sure you all know how to do that, but in case you don't. Right, so we've got that, and then you can wing it, but in my experience, winging it has resulted in me not having the same, and then I keep cutting it until there's nothing left, and then I throw it away. So yeah, if you're feeling confident to do it like that, that's fine. Do whatever you feel is right. You can do the corners at the end, or you don't need to do corners at all. That's the other thing. You can just have a straight tag. Right, so we've done the cutting there. Now what we want to do is we want to add some bits and pieces on here. So it's just a case of deciding what you want. Now I've got all sorts in this tray here, and I'm just bringing it closer. Now I'm going to start off by just tearing it. So I just tear bits off. I tend to go with a longer shape, but anything goes. All right, so I just make it up as I go. So do I want it there, or do I want it there? As we do this, it'll emerge. That's my answer to you there. Just do it. Just do it. And you can have fun with this. Look for some pattern bits. Look for some font. That's always a good one. I love a bit of font, and it can be book page. It can be absolutely anything. So I'm going to put this further up. Now I'm just getting some sort of layers going here, really. That's all I'm doing. Here's a little bit of this. So there we go. And if it's too big or whatever, you can layer them. Don't forget that, you know, layering is good too. So that one's there. I'm going to put this one, I'll have to go that way. So we'll just turn them around. And if it's too long and you need to cut off a bit after, that's fine too. So just do what comes to you. There you go. I'm going to put those 3 on there. Let's stick them down. And you can ink them if you want. You can, you know, go like this if you feel you need to. And I'm going to get my little glue book here. So let's just put those up there. Sorry, this is like crazy behavior going on. It does seem like it, doesn't it? Right, so I'm going to use this just so that the glue goes on the book and not on my desk. So I'm going to make this one go just on the edge there. Now I tend to distress the edges of the tag once I've stuck all these down. So, you know, there we go. So we'll get this one a little bit higher. This is fun. It's quite relaxing, especially if you're listening to your audiobook or the radio. I do enjoy it. Or just got a few videos on, you know, YouTube going on with your favorite person on there. You know, I do find this a great way to get yourself busy, keep creative. And if you're not feeling the creativity gene, you know, on that particular day, if it doesn't come to you, your muse, then you know, just this kind of thing, just making these bases is a great way to mass make something. Now I like that those lines are going through there. We'll come back to that. So there's one. And now we'll take the next one. This one's got a base, so I'm going to just put 1 or 2 little bits on here. Again, I'm going to take a little bit of this font paper, and I'm going to just put it over this edge there, I think. And then I've got a little bit of I've got a bit of that, so no, let's take a little bit of this wallpaper here, and you know, as I say, whatever comes to you. I'm going to stick that there. I'm going to stick that a little bit further down, and I think that's quite enough for this one. I'm going to add bits on top of it. So we're making lots of layers, but all fun, all fun. And it is fun. I mean, everyone's going to turn out differently, isn't it? So yeah. Right, so we'll put that up there. There's just like a little bit that's not quite covered, so that's perfect. And then I'm going to do this further down. There we go. Like that. So we've got another one done. And then this one here, let's see what we are going to do with that. So anything can go. I love a blank canvas. So here it is. Right, so we've got a little bit of there and that there, and I'm going to use both sides. So I'm going to use this, go with the flower first. And I'm just tearing it out. Yeah, and I'm going to stick it at the bottom there. So that's the first one. And then at the top, I'm going to go with yeah, and I don't, oh, that doesn't matter. Right, so we'll have that there, we'll have that there, and I want something else to overlap it. And I'm just thinking, should we go a bit bolder? A bit bolder? It's a bit bolder. We'll just have a small piece of this. So there we go, and I might just tuck it underneath there a bit. Like that, and on top of that one, something like that. Yeah, it's coming together. Maybe a little bit of this as well. Love working with wallpaper. The feel of it is just amazing. I do like it. The good thing is if you don't like your piece, you throw it in the box and you make a new one. You know, maybe that piece will will appeal to you on another day. So yeah, there's that. I'm going to just, yeah, right. That's that one. So let's stick it on. Okay, so I'll just get this. I'm just doing the insides because, as I say, once I've stitched it, I will then do the edges because that's my final sort of step. All right, I hope you're having a great weekend. I'm a busy bee this weekend. I'm about to finish off the packing of my orders, so been having a great time. I actually enjoy it. It's lovely, and you can catch up on your you know, your audiobook or while you're doing it, or watch some telly or YouTube or anything that you feel you want to do. So it's quite relaxing, definitely is. So yeah, and at the moment, as you know, I'm sitting here, there's nobody in the park, it's dead quiet, and I don't know why, because it's already 11 o'clock in the morning. Here we go. Oh, this one I was going to put there, so luckily with a glue stick we can do that. So let's just whoop, get that one done like that. We're going to just tuck it underneath and lap it over there a little bit, and there we go. Yeah, okie dokie. Right, now let's see what we want to do next. So I'm just making this up as I go. We've got our 3 little tags, and we've got a little base now to put some things on. So these might be a little bit big for what I'm doing here, unless you want to take a smaller one here. So many books, so little time. That might work for something on there, we'll see. Book lover, person devoted to reading. So I'm not feeling the blues here, and I've used most of my smaller ones already, so I might use that or I might not, we'll see. The ribbon, we go put that on at the end. I've got these little elements here, you know, that I cut out of those background pages, and I do love using these. So let's just take a few out and see if we're going to use them. Oops, that one jumped out. So yeah, I've got a couple of those, and my favorite is to use die cuts. You can fussy cut out, so you know, on these sort of pages you could fussy cut out flowers or other flowers. That could work as well. And book page music paper looks great on here as well, so don't forget that. So now it's just a case of deciding what I want to put on here. So I don't want to be cutting any more, so we will use what we have. Now I'm just playing around here. So that one looks quite good. I think I'm going to put the lilac on here like that, and it doesn't matter that it's going to go over things, so don't worry about that. I quite like that. So I'm not going to take it right to the top because I tend to put a circle on there, so I might put that one there. Now we want something that's going to be a little bit pinker, so let's hear something. What is this? Oh yeah, that's nice. So we want something else here, and I'm going to take another purpley one, so maybe not so big. I've also got some of these aqua colors which does peek out here, so that's great. So you can have the best fun doing this. Now if you are doing this for a mass make, then you just want to make the bases and then decorate them later on if you're not feeling it at the moment, you know. So we could either have those two, or we could have this. We could have all 3. It's up to you. But, you know, you could stick those down there. I'm going to put this on. So those 2 like that. And then that will work for me. Now, I'm not convinced about this one. Yes. we're going to make use of what we have. That's my decision today. Right, that's a good one. Now that's different color, which is great, and I think that will look good. So let's do that. So we've got that and we got that. We've got those. Let me stick those down quickly and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have stuck these two down, as you can see, and then I just wanted to show you before I stuck this one down, I was going to possibly put on a little bit of a stamp on there. So I think I'm going to just grab, if I can get it off here. I've never used this one. Gosh, it's on here for life. So let's just, I've got this little one. It's like a little bit of a coffee ring stain. I'm going to just put it on the underside of this little stamp block. And I thought I'd just take my Distress Oxide here. So let's just take that one off. And then I'm going to just make the Seedless Preserves Distress Oxide. And I'm going to just give it a little bit of a thingy there. Okay, so you can use anything really. I mean, anything is going to work. And then go and stick these on top of that, if you know. So that is what I wanted to share with you there. So let me do that quickly while we are just finishing up. So I then just take my glue, and you've seen me do this before. It never works when I want to film. It's been working the whole time. Now it's decided it's not going to work. Right, so you want to just get your a good amount of glue onto your die cuts. So there we go. Right, I can't believe it's already April this year. Hasn't the year flown? We're in the 4th month of 2023 and the year has just flown by. I don't know, actually half of it I don't recall. It went so fast. I don't know if I'm the only one that feels that the time seems to go by faster the older you get. I don't know if that's just me, but it does feel that way. It definitely does. Right, so a bit too much glue there. And then I'm just going to put this one on. Yeah, and the days go by so fast. It doesn't matter how early I get up. I seem to feel that when I look, it's already, you know, lunchtime. And then when I look again, it's dinner time. And I think, gosh, I don't feel like I've got as much done as I wanted to get done. Is that just me, or is it just the way of the world? So yeah, please let me know, because I'm feeling sorry for myself these days. The hours just flitting by. It's just unbelievable. Right, I am now going to, oops, that one just needs a bit of a press there. There we go. Don't worry if you get a little bit of glue oozing out, you know, like I have there. It's going to dry clear with art glitter glue. So, you know, if you're using a glue that you're not sure of, just check it, and well, we can use that in a minute. Right, now the other stamp that I had here, I'll just put that over there, is this little one that says just a note. That's all it is. So go and have a look for any little sentiments that you have. And what I've got here is a piece of a trimmed off book page that I used when I was making those little collage pages. It's from that reading book, the part that you know that goes around here, and it's lovely paper. So I keep all those bits just for this kind of a thing. So what I'm going to do here is, I want to brave it with the black. I love the smell of StazOn. It smells like almonds, marzipan. Yeah, it's lovely, but probably not good. But I think it's the same smell of arsenic, isn't it? I don't know, I've never had arsenic or come close to it, but yeah, I can just imagine. Right, I'm going to just push this on there gently. Oh, that came out perfectly. And because this is, you know, a good quality paper, it hasn't bled, so that's great. I'm going to let that dry for a minute. In the meantime, I'm just going to, let's put on our other little bits here while we're waiting for that. So I thought on this one, I'm not really going to want to cover that there, so I'm going to leave that one as it is. And then over here, I thought I'd just put a little book over there like that. We could put the bigger ones, but I don't want to cover too much, so I'm going with a smaller one. So I'm going to just stick that down there. Now anything that you have, butterflies, you know, books, whatever element you feel, get it on. You know, this is the time to work away all those bits and pieces left over from your project. So this is perfect. We'll get that there. And then on this one, I want a bit of, oh, I was going to leave that one, so I'm going to put this on here because I quite like the contrast, and we're going to stick the other bit on in a sec. So yeah, I do like these little typewriters. We thought about writing a book, but you know, there's just not enough hours in the day. I don't know what I'm writing about, but you know, I'm sure we all have those thoughts. Or is it just me? Right, now with this one, I'm going to just tear it with my fingers. So I want a bit of a rough look. So I'm just tearing this out, and you can do this also. I've got those stamps that clip together. I'm trying to think what they're called now. You've seen me use them quite often. I like that rough, that sort of uneven look there. Right, so that's going to be quite rustic, and you can put that on over there. Looks quite good actually. Or here, I think I'm going to add it on there. I quite like it. I like that little black, just makes things pop. And I'm not a fan of black, but it has its uses. Yes, so we'll stick that just over here. Right. Yeah. Now I feel like there's something missing here, so I'm going to look for something else here, and I think I found it. I've got a little postage stamp. That's it. Now I've got a whole load of these with a Tim Holtz goodie. Let me grab those quickly and show you what I mean. Okay, so I've got this set, which is Stamp Collector CMS338. So that stamp is anonymous. I put them in these pouches now. I find it's great because I can see what they are, and it keeps them all together so nothing can fall off. So these are an A5 pouch. Now not all A5 pouches are wide enough, so go and have a look on my Amazon favorites to get the dimensions. These ones are the right ones. About the only pack I found that was wide enough this way. Right, so great to store them in there. This is loads of different ones in here, and I'm going to just find one that I want to stick on here, some on this one. That's it. So I think I'm going to go with this oval one. Letter Dispatch, that one's pretty. So let's take, I've never used this. This is pretty new, and I'm going to stick it onto this bit here. So let's hope that it's going to fit. It is. So that's good. And yeah, I'm going to just go like that. Don't want to press this too much. And then I'm going to just, hopefully this is right. Yeah. Oh, I love the smell of this. Oh, I am a marzipan fan. Bakewell, you know, anything like that, I am there with bells on. Terrible, isn't it? Right, I'm not going to go and clean everything off, but this will need doing. So we've got that there. Right, I'll do that when I'm finished. Okay, so there we have that. And again, I'm trying to hurry things up now. I want to just tear it off quite close to the edge there, and the same over here. Here we go. And then I'm going to just take, so keep those little paper pieces, you know, they have uses. So we are going to put this one on, and I think I'm going to just stick it there. Just do it. Stop thinking about it, Angela. Let's just do it. Oh, there's somebody at the door. Right. Okay, so here I have just inked and stitched around each one of these I love this one. It does make a difference to do the inking in my opinion, but there we go. So I've got 3 here. They all got suitable backgrounds to write on. That one just needs a bit of a trim. There we go. So good to go. So what I've got now is I've got my ribbon and I've got my crocodile. So I just want to open up this little container. This is just a collection of small eyelets that I've made over the years. So I think I'm just going to go with the gold. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Put that there. And then it's just a case of looking for the bigger one. I use this to set the distance and I just wing it. I've just learned what is the right space. I don't know how this works. I've tried to follow with people, but I've just learned to wing it now. So there you go. And there you go. My winging works. So now, so just to me, I just gauge that there's enough space on either side here really. And I'm just centralizing it. So I'm just, you know, if you do enough of these, I make these for my printed kits. So I think I'm used to doing this. It's just lots of practice. Okay, now just put in my eyelet. 3 eyelets. Push them down. These are Draper's eyelets. I have had people ask me that. I've used them for years. They come in 3 colors: gold, the silvery and the bronze, and I use all of them and they fit and work, so I recommend it. There we go, 3 done, and I just like the little ring around there. Now it's just a case of deciding which ribbon is going where. I think I'm going to put that one in there, this one in here. Now for those of you who have lost out on one of the bundles I put together for the new kit, this Spring Splendor, I'm trying my best to find some more because I've had a number of people ask me. So let me just get out the orders for this week, that's just passed, and then I'll be able to see where I am so that I can sort out another restock. So hang in there. Right, I just want that neat. There we go. So did you see how I do this? I just take the corner. If it's thick like that, I mean wide, that's the word. If it's wide, I just fold it over a bit just to get it through. Alright, then I tend to do it upside down, so I mean that way. And then it's just do a simple knot. As I'm putting it close, I'm eyeing it up that I don't want too much on this side. I don't want to waste ribbon, so I want it to be pretty much where I want it. And because I know I'm going to trim it just to get a clean edge, and then again just winging it. You can bring them together to get the same, but it's practice, I suppose. Right, and there we have it. 3 little tags, like 3 little pigs, not quite, that we've made today. We've used book pages, we've used, you know, packaging that's grey underneath. We've used cream-based packaging, you've used your scraps and what's left over, and there we have it. And they're going to look stunning in our journal. So any journal, this will work with any journal, and I know that we come to the end, there's loads of scraps, and to me that's the creativity and the challenge time. So go and have a look at those and do this for your journal. It's so much fun, even if it's just a mass make and you just want to use up the bases. Get all the bases ready. I used to do, and when I've got lots of time, well, not lots, but when I've got some time, I like to just take a pile of packaging, sit in front of the telly, watch something, and just cover so that I've got the bases available, and then I can decorate them with whatever color I want whenever I want, and they're good to go. All right, have a brilliant Sunday. I'll see you on Tuesday. Take good care of yourselves. Bye-bye.